This was my third time that I had been to Kenya. I went on a study abroad 2 summers ago and an internship the previous summer and decided to return again.
My first trip to Kenya, so it was all new to me. Luckily I had her to kind of help break me in a little bit, as well as we had one worker on the ground there that was also very helpful in kind of getting used to the culture, getting to know how to get around, just everything was all new. It was all different, so luckily my break-in time was not very long.
So our place of work and where we found home was the Migosi Orphanage Home in kind of the outskirts of Kisumu. Both boys and girls live at the orphanage home. The home isn't in the best conditions, but the kids there have so much passion and so much love for each other.
Before we got to working with the Migosi Orphanage, it's run by a preacher there, and it was kind of just more of a setting where kids could go, they could get a meal, they could get some kind of education, brief schooling, and it was mainly for younger ones. And then eventually we started working with the older youth from the orphanage and kind of, giving them a project, giving them things to learn from us, learning with us, learning from them. And so I think that was kind of the first time that the older youth in the orphanage were engaged. So it was really nice getting to work with them.
Yeah. And also, with my past experiences in Kenya, I never felt a click like I did here. Like the first time I went to the Migosi Orphanage, I clicked with the director, with the kids, with everyone. There was an instant connection there, which was really nice.
So during our time spent in Kisumu, we did our best to meet a variety of people in a wide array of professions. From business owners to teachers to motor taxi drivers, we were quick to learn that anyone may have a few words that they could lend to help our program. Learning the way the community functioned and growing close to individuals within it helped us to network our project and find ways to deal with our troubles.
Yeah.
It was really great actually living in the community rather than traveling as a volunteer and being viewed as what they called a Mzungu. We were Mzungus, which means white foreigner, and we were always made to know it, but the way that we were accepted amidst the community was much different. We were treated as people that lived with them, that worked with them, that wanted to actually grow with them rather than just come, work, and leave. And so that was really fulfilling and really nice to have.
Yeah. We did our best at integrating ourselves into the community. We talked with all kinds of people when we were walking every which place. We went to restaurants that everybody else went to. We took the same transportation that everyone did. So we really tried hard to integrate ourselves to build better relationships. We went with every intention of kind of starting a youth livelihood development curriculum, but we soon found that the youth that we were working with at the orphanage were lacking general confidence. We started teaching the basics from table manners to setting goals to life skills to work ethic. We did a little bit of everything, but really wanted to pay attention to their needs and wanted to teach them about what they wanted to learn about most.
What was really fun about the educational aspect of it was every day we would kind of end our current lesson with what they might want to do the next lesson. So then we would get to go home, research a little bit about that, learn a little bit about that, and then we would get to work with them on what they actually wanted to learn. Rather than coming with a set curriculum of, all right, Monday we're doing this, Wednesday we're doing this. It was really, it was great seeing the passion that everyone had for the topics because it was what they were genuinely curious about. So our main purpose was inspiring activism through advocacy. And given our whole trip was kind of built around this theme, we wanted to go to Kenya, we wanted to work, or offer our skills to help other people, help themselves. But being the intelligent, curious, and genuinely good-natured people the youth were, we were quick to realize their enormous potential, which they only needed a little push and some inspiration. Something we did our best to catalyze. We encouraged thoughts of endless growth and possibility, that the world was their oyster. Importantly, we worked side by side in groups and one-on-one situations with the youth as both mentors and friends, listening to their concerns and helping to compromise plans of action on anything from girl problems to climate change. So we truly were their friends from every sense of the word. We learned together, but we also talked about what was going on in their personal lives, what was going on with us, the way we were fitting in the community. It was very nice. It was very fun. So just the warmth and connection it was not a cold divide between instructor and students. It was very much a mutualism.
Yeah. We became familiar with the hardships that the youth were facing, both individually and at the community level, and we challenged them to explore solutions and new ways to engage their community to work towards sustainable change. So with this, we would kind of give them a topic maybe, or that kind of thing, and just let them go with it. We didn't have a lot of structure in what we did, but we wanted them to come up with the solutions for problems.
We were not teachers. We were simply advocates and friends, as I mentioned. We brought the skills that we had, and we really wanted to learn the skills that they had. So, from the get-go, we were learning, who was doing what, whether, someone was a rapper and they had a lot of community connections, or someone was interested in art, or someone was, just anything that they felt like they could bring to the table. We really wanted to place an emphasis on, being confident in that and being able to share that with everyone else, which was, they were always willing to do that, and that was great.
Living in Kenya, we expected that there would be challenges. We knew that we wouldn't have access to some basic resources that we have in the U.S., such as running water, clean water, reliable transportation, and trash disposal. Even though we were aware of this, it did take some getting used to, and even it was my third time there, and it still takes some time getting used to that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If there's anyone in the audience that's thinking about maybe going to a third world country or something, just kind of be mentally prepped for what you might encounter and what you even still might not expect. Be it we took a nasty tumble and some sewage. We, sometimes you'd be in the shower and the water would go off and it'd be off for a week, or you name it. So nothing that you can't live with, but it strains you a little bit at times, just compared to what we're used to.
Yeah. And we also had some challenges with our Kenyan staff on the ground, as a lot of things sometimes got lost in translation because of language barriers and miscommunications, and sometimes our work ethics differed, but this has been my experience in Kenya. There have always been challenges like this, and you just have to learn to work with them, and you really have to learn from those experiences. And this would be one of our hardships.
An example of a daily hardship.
Yeah, trying to fit a bunch of furniture on a little tuk-tuk, the three-wheeled car.
So everything about this photo is a challenge. Between getting the furniture, which took multiple weeks of trying to correlate, when can we pick it up, when is it going to be done, how much is it going to cost, yada, 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 to then figuring out how to get it back. But luckily, like even our tuk-tuk driver over there in the red, most people that we came across, they were always willing to help you out. So in a community where a lot of things are difficult, there's a lot of people that are willing to come together and kind of help you get through whatever challenge you're facing at the moment.
Yep.
Personal gain. So both Lee and I gained a lot from the trip. We learned a lot about ourselves. We learned a lot about each other. We gained feelings of satisfaction and general happiness from building meaningful relationships with the kids that we worked with and the people that we met in the community. If we hadn't built those types of relationships, our time would not have been as meaningful. It was great even just having friends in the area. We knew a couple of our owners, we knew a couple of businessmen, people that you just kind of come in contact day to day with that you got to be buds with. And so you just sort of hang out in the evenings, and now, you get to look back on that time and kind of smile at it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is our group here, this is not our whole group, but these are a couple of our core members.
Mm. They recently sent us some pictures of their recent activities.
Right. So our group, Chipukizi Papaya, which is a name that they came up with. In Congolese, it means healthy people, green environment, which they thought was very fitting, and we, of course, agreed. And it's running just as strong now, if not stronger than when we left. They're participating in new things all the time. They just walked in a peace walk. They've been helping to plant portable gardens, and they actually just worked with Nivea on a campaign as well. So they're getting their name out there a little bit. They're helping the community, and that's great.
And one of our group members sent us a message, and in it he said, "You guys lit the fire, and it's now burning in all of us with a great energy."